Jennifer Lopez, JLo. Her name has been coming up a lot right now that Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested. But will Combs' ex-girlfriend play a role in his criminal case? We're going to revisit their history.
That's not allowed here.
See you getting back with Puffy in a little way.
I remember you said
Yes.
that. Yes.
Or in my mind.
Look at that. Look it.
Or in my mind, getting together permanently
Yeah, well,
with
first of all-
Pitbull.
That they interviewed over 50 witnesses and victims. But there is one name on that celebrity list that is standing out in particular right now. Jennifer Lopez, JLo.
Jennifer Lopez has a new headache thanks to Diddy amid a stress-filled Ben Affleck divorce. In a stunning turn of events, sources say the pop icon and global superstar, Jennifer Lopez, is nowhere to be found, just days after Diddy was taken into federal custody. Is there a connection between the two? Why did JLo suddenly leave? What does this mean for Diddy's case? Stay tuned as we dig deeper into this developing story that's rocking Hollywood and the music industry. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this.
Sean and I were very different that way. You know, I was very family oriented and kind of a, the married type. I was actually, when we first worked together in the video.
This is someone who destroyed my life.
Former rapper Moses Shine Barrow is speaking out in the wake of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and federal indictment.
Now that the horrific charges have been revealed and Diddy is in prison, many are noticing the silence of Jennifer Lopez. More JLo clips are resurfacing. What happened back in that club in 1999?
Jennifer Lopez has a lot going on right now. After filing for divorce from actor Ben Affleck, ending her fourth marriage, there's been a major update in the legal troubles surrounding her ex, Sean Combs, this year. Combs, also known as Diddy, was arrested in New York City last week on charges related to organized crime and inappropriate behavior, with accusations going back to the 2000s. While Lopez, who dated Diddy from 1999 to 2001, may not be concerned about how his legal issues could affect her just yet, she might be soon.
What information could Jennifer Lopez provide to the government that would be useful in their case?
Everything. We know that JLo was dating P. Diddy in the late 1990s to 2001, right? We know about the gun incident with the club.
Resurfaced photos go viral in bad news for JLo. In a classic case of what's old is new again, old photos have resurfaced showing Jennifer Lopez and Sean Combs cozying up in a big bed at his 4th of July party in 2000. Lopez, who was 30 at the time, had just released her debut album On the 6th, just the year before. The album, co-produced by Combs, reached number 8 on the Billboard 200 and helped her become a crossover star after her success in movies during the 1990s. Combs and Lopez weren't the only big names at the 4th of July party, which happened a year before they split and Lopez started seeing Affleck. Jay-Z, Rockefeller Records co-founder Dame Dash, and the late R&B singer Aaliyah were also there. Over the years, other stars like Leonardo DiCaprio and Sarah Jessica Parker were known to show up at Diddy's famous parties too.
Who's the person that's number 1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Yes, without a doubt, you are invited.
The resurfacing of these photos is likely connected to Diddy's recent arrest on federal charges. The 54-year-old is currently being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after being denied bail. The timing is also notable because of the large amount of materials, including thousands of bottles of lubricant, that federal agents found during searches of Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Items reportedly linked to his well-known freak-off parties. It's unclear how involved Lopez was, but the seriousness of the situation could lead her to make a statement soon, despite being busy with her ongoing divorce.
Everybody's writing about you. There's always rumors about you, too. How do you deal with it? What do you have got something you want to tell us in the press?
We don't care?
Fans are now curious about what Jennifer Lopez's past relationship with Sean Diddy Combs was like, especially after his recent arrest for racketeering and other charges. Recently, an episode of MTV Diaries from 2000 resurfaced, showing a moment where Diddy wasn't pleased with JLo having to film a kissing scene for a movie at the time.
Puffy Combs and
Jennifer Lopez, probably one of the most glamorous couples just in history.
They understood each other. They were both famous, both busy. So he probably didn't have to explain a lot.
A TikTok user shared a clip from the episode on September 21st, showing the couple, who dated from 1999 to 2001, reuniting in JLo's hotel room. After a warm greeting, the Let's Get Loud singer, now 55, shared a confessional that they get angry with each other a lot. Jennifer was in the middle of filming a movie, though it's unclear which one. She did star in The Wedding Planner with Matthew McConaughey in 2001, so it might have been that. "Oh, that's hot," Diddy said in a clip as he flipped through the pages of her manuscript before asking, "What's this? The last scene consists of what?" JLo off-screen laughed and mentioned a kiss scene, saying, "Yeah, he has a problem with stuff like that." Diddy, however, was not amused, insisting there better not be no kissing going on. JLo tried to reassure him, clarifying it wasn't like a kiss with tongue. But Diddy firmly responded, "No." She expressed her frustration, stating, "I think it's silly because I'm an actor. This doesn't mean anything." Fans reminisced about the episode, with one recalling, "He popped up, I remember that." And another noting, Jennifer's mom didn't like him either. This aligns with past reports about Guadalupe Rodriguez's disapproval of JLo reconnecting with Diddy. In 2015, during an appearance on The Wendy Williams Show, Guadalupe reacted loudly when Wendy suggested a reconciliation, making a "cut it out" gesture and mouthing, "We're done," which caught JLo and Wendy's attention.
You getting back with Puffy in a little way.
I remember you said
yes.
that. Yes.
Or in my mind.
Look it.
Or in my mind, getting together permanently with
first of all.
A mother's intuition often proves right, especially considering the legal trouble JLo and Diddy faced during their 2-year relationship. In 1999, the couple was arrested after leaving the scene of a shooting outside a New York nightclub, with a firearm found in their car. Jennifer was released, but Diddy and his friend, Jamal Shine Barrow, were arrested on 4 weapon charges. Diddy was later cleared of all charges after pleading not guilty, while Shine was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
She's one of the most beautiful people in the world, and I'm a pretty nice guy myself.
Before Diddy's arrest on September 16th, he faced several legal claims, including one from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Cassie filed a lawsuit on November 16, 2023, but the two quickly reached a settlement the next day. Since then, other individuals, including Danity Kane's Don Richard, have come forward with their own claims against him. Don accused Diddy of inappropriate behavior, but his lawyer, Erica Wolf, denied these claims in a statement on September 12, 2024. The statement read, "Mr. Combs is shocked and disappointed by this lawsuit. Don Richard has made up false accusations in an attempt to get attention and money, conveniently timed with her album release and press tour." Jennifer Lopez recently opened up about her rocky relationship with Diddy, sharing that he was the first man to cheat on her. Their relationship, which lasted from 1999 to 2001, has often sparked curiosity because of its highs and lows. However, Lopez made it clear that while Diddy was unfaithful, he wasn't the ex who treated her badly.
They're simple questions. It's hard. It requires so much trust.
Diddy's relationship with Jennifer Lopez has always caught people's attention, especially since their romance was all over the headlines in the late 90s and early 2000s. Even Kanye mentioned something about it a few years ago that many people overlooked, and honestly, they shouldn't have. Diddy's label Bad Boy Records was hugely popular back in the day, but later, comments from Mark Curry revealed that things weren't always as glamorous behind the scenes. Diddy became well known in the music industry during the fierce rivalry between the West Coast and East Coast in the 90s hip-hop scene. This period was an important time in the genre's growth. The conflict involving Death Row Records' founder, Suge Knight, and rapper Tupac Shakur sadly led to the demise of both Biggie and Tupac. While Diddy wasn't directly involved in these events, many stories and conspiracy theories still circulate about what happened. Despite the controversies, Diddy's career has continued to thrive. Jaguar Wright shared a poignant reflection on Diddy's career, noting that Uptown Records began with 5 key figures: Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, Puffy, and Kim, who was Andre's longtime assistant. She pointed out that only Puffy and Al remain, while the others have tragically passed away. Heavy D passed away due to a heart attack. Andre also succumbed to heart issues, and Kim's demise was ruled a homicide with toxins found in her body, suggesting she may have been poisoned.
There's too many coincidences.
Too many. You
honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog, too.
She continued, highlighting a troubling pattern among the survivors and the deceased from Uptown Records. They were all working on tell-all books, she noted. Andre was writing one before his passing. Heavy D had been working on his. Kim was also engaged in a book project. And Al B. Sure was creating a documentary about his life before falling into a coma. She questioned, has Puffy ever been in a coma? Suggesting he seems fortunate compared to the others. Wright expressed her disappointment with Al and emphasized the many coincidences surrounding these events.
Around 11 p.m., Sean and Jennifer headed out to Club New York in Manhattan for a night of partying. Their entourage included newly signed rapper Jamal Shine Barrow and Puffy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones. According to court documents, Combs traded insults inside the club with a man named Scar. The man allegedly threw money in Puffy's face. Suddenly, a fight broke out and gunshots were fired.
And if we've learned anything from the Cassie story and the recent allegations and other lawsuits, it seems as if Diddy has a pattern of threatening people and cover-up.
But how could Jennifer Lopez, now facing her own problems and battling against scrutiny amidst impending divorce with Ben Affleck, be dragged down alongside Diddy? Apart from being an ex-girlfriend, could his crimes be connected back to JLo? Well, if you've lived under a rock for more than 2 decades ago, let me take you on a trip down memory lane. In 1999, a well-known incident took place at a nightclub in New York, where a heated argument escalated into a shooting that injured 3 people. Diddy and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were arrested and faced charges related to the situation. While Lopez had her charges dropped, Diddy went to trial, claiming there was racial bias against black men in the legal system. He was found not guilty of all charges. However, his protege, Shine Barrow, received a long 9-year sentence for his role in the incident, and later accused Diddy of betrayal after everything that happened.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
No one was ever charged or found guilty for the shooting itself. One of the 3 people injured in the incident, Natanya Rubin, has claimed that it was Combs who shot her. Earlier this year, she said she would be willing to have a piece of bullet still lodged in her face removed if it could be used as evidence against him. Shine Barrow, who was deported back to Belize after serving 8 years in prison, spoke from his home country, saying, "Combs is not someone I vacationed with or had a close brotherly relationship with. This is someone who destroyed my life." Barrow, Lopez, Combs, and bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones were all at Club New York in 1999 when a disagreement escalated into gunfire, leaving 3 people hurt. Combs, Lopez, and Jones left the club and led the police on a chase that ended with their arrest, during which officers found a stolen firearm in their car. The charges against Lopez were dropped quickly, but Combs, Jones, and Barrow, who was 21 at the time, faced charges for having the gun. Jones and Combs were found not guilty, but Barrow was convicted of 5 offenses and sentenced to 10 years in jail, serving almost 9 of them before being deported. In a press conference in Belize, following Combs' recent arrest on charges related to exploitation and racketeering, Barrow claimed that his former mentor turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. He pretty much sent me to prison. Now, the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives, Barrow said he has forgiven Combs because he has the ability to provide scholarships and invest in the future of his home country.
Who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great, intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Barrow's comments came after Combs was arrested on Tuesday, facing 3 charges: conspiracy to engage in organized crime, exploitation by force, and transporting people for the rough trade. Combs' attorney, Mark Agnafilo, has denied these claims. Investigators first searched Combs' homes in March, and several news outlets reported that these searches were part of a federal exploitation investigation. The day after his arrest, the charges against him were made public, stating that Combs maltreated, threatened, and pressured women and others around him to satisfy his desires, and created a criminal group for activities like exploitation, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and obstructing justice. The indictment claims Combs manipulated women into participating in events called freak-offs with male workers and women given substances to keep them obedient. Law enforcement officials reported finding over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, along with other supplies for these events, as well as firearms including 3 AR-15s with altered serial numbers. Combs has pleaded not guilty and asked a judge to release him on bail due to horrific conditions at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, where he is being held. However, his request was denied and he will remain in federal custody. As time has gone on, more people have come forward to support the claims against Diddy. One woman says she has been telling her story for years and believes it has been hidden on purpose. She compares her experience to what Cassie and others have recently faced, suggesting a pattern of intimidation and cover-ups by Diddy. She clearly states that he eventually had to pay her for what happened. While it's important to remember that these are all allegations, the ongoing nature of these claims raises questions about possible cover-ups and how little the public knows about her story. The infamous federal investigation and searches at his homes have raised questions about the rapper and music mogul's activities. It's unclear what exactly the Homeland Security Investigations agents were looking for during their earlier searches in Los Angeles and Miami.
And while Jennifer was upstairs, he was down there getting a fellatio from her.
Did she ever find out?
She know now.
Aaron Dyer, Diddy's lawyer during the raids, strongly maintains that his client is innocent, calling the raid a continuous witch hunt fueled by unfounded claims. These searches happened alongside several civil lawsuits against Diddy, which accuse him of forcing unwanted interactions over the years. Diddy has repeatedly denied these allegations. According to the Los Angeles Times and the Associated Press, the searches were part of a larger investigation into exploitation, linked to ongoing inquiries in New York. Rebecca Longerin, a law professor at USC Gould School of Law, believed that the involvement of Homeland Security investigations in these raids, along with the increase in civil lawsuits against Diddy, suggested that prosecutors may be building a case that could lead to criminal charges. For those who might not remember, Diddy and Jennifer Lopez started dating in 1999 and were together for 2 years before breaking up in 2001. In a 2003 interview with Vibe, Lopez shared that Diddy's unfaithfulness was the reason for their split. You might recall their unforgettable moment at the 2000 Grammy Awards, where Lopez wowed everyone in her famous green Versace dress. Looking back on that moment in 2017, Diddy told Entertainment Tonight, "I thought it was going to really change the game for her and fashion. I didn't know how big it was going to be, but it was a great moment for her." Diddy also said that Lopez was, without a doubt, one of his greatest loves. Even after their breakup, they stayed on friendly terms. They reunited at a party in 2018 and in 2021. Diddy posted a throwback picture of the two, showing that their past connection still meant a lot to him. What makes this story even more interesting is that when Diddy shared that throwback photo, Lopez was actually getting back together with Ben Affleck. The timing felt almost too perfect, sparking rumors and raising eyebrows everywhere. The photo, simply captioned #TBT, didn't come with any explanation, but its timing was definitely not a coincidence. It popped up right when JLo and Ben were starting to hang out again. Naturally, the internet exploded with guesses. Was Diddy trying to create some drama, or was it just a nostalgic moment? In an interview with Vanity Fair, Diddy quickly put those rumors to rest, saying, "There was no trolling involved, that's just my friend." He insisted he didn't mean to comment on JLo's relationship or her life, but by then the speculation had already started. People began to wonder if there was more to the story. To make things even more complicated, before Diddy dated JLo, he had 2 serious relationships with other women. Both of those relationships involved some troubling behavior, both emotional and physical. These women, who were deeply connected to Diddy, saw a darker side of him long before JLo entered the scene.
First album on the 6th, and then they debut as a couple. They're both from New York. She's from the Bronx. He's from Harlem. People can't get enough of them. They are quite literally the it couple. They're doing red carpets together. They're at fashion shows. They're throwing parties. They're always dressed to impress.
And there's more to this story. It's not just about JLo's rumored connection to Diddy's controversial actions. It also brings back a dramatic event from 20 years ago that's gaining new attention. Natanya Rubin, who was hurt in the infamous nightclub shooting in 1999, is now taking bold steps to show that Diddy and JLo were involved in her injuries. She was at Club New York in Manhattan when the gunfire erupted, injuring 3 people, including herself. She was hit in the face by a bullet, and now she's making a risky offer to help with the case. In a recent interview with News Nation, Rubin said she's willing to have doctors remove the bullet fragments still in her face to use as evidence against Diddy. "If I didn't suffer, I'm willing to have a doctor remove part of the 9mm bullet in my face so it can be used as evidence for this trial, even if it might cost me my life," she shared. Rubin's dramatic offer shows how serious this case is and adds urgency to the ongoing investigation. Her willingness to go to such lengths for evidence highlights her strong desire for justice and reminds us that this case, which has been waiting for answers for decades, is still unresolved. The infamous shooting that night started with a heated argument involving Diddy, then known as Puffy, his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, his bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow. Things quickly spiraled out of control, leading to chaos and gunfire, which resulted in the arrest of all 4 individuals.
Called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face.
The charges against Lopez were dropped almost right away, long before the case went to court. She cooperated with the investigation and has always denied being involved in the shooting. Diddy and his bodyguard were cleared of all charges after a trial in 2001. However, Shine, who was just 21 at the time, was found guilty of mistreatment and illegal gun possession, receiving a 10-year prison sentence. Now, over 20 years later, the case is back in the news because of a lawsuit filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones in February. In his lawsuit, Jones accused Diddy of making unwanted advances and forcing him into situations with illegal workers at Diddy's request. He also claimed that Diddy lied about his role in the 1999 nightclub shooting, alleging that Diddy bragged about bribing witnesses and jurors during his 2001 trial. Court documents even suggest that Jennifer Lopez, who was Diddy's girlfriend at the time, smuggled the gun into the club and handed it to Diddy during the incident.
I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, "Puffy, pew pew me in the face."
Natanya Rubin, who has been deeply affected by the shooting, hopes this new legal action will finally bring justice and hold Diddy and others responsible. Rubin recalled her struggles, saying, "When I was fighting for my life on the operating table at St. Vincent's Hospital with doctors trying to remove the bullet from my lungs, they had already detained Miss Lopez, only to release her and drop the charges within an hour. It's absolutely ridiculous." Even after all these years, Rubin feels grateful to be alive, calling herself a living miracle. However, the trauma from that night still haunts her and she remains determined to find justice. Diddy, on the other hand, strongly denies all the claims against him. His lawyers have called the lawsuits baseless and sickening, arguing that they're just attempts to extort money. But what are your thoughts on all this? Let us know your theories in the comments. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this.